Hello, this is Lisa Werwinski, and I'm going to walk you through how to set up a meet in eDive when you download your entries from CleanEntries. First thing you're going to do, open the Documents folder on your computer, and then you're going to go to this PC, click on your hard drive, and you're going to click on Users, Public, eDive. That is where all the files for eDive live. What you're going to do is your license files should always be stored in a folder in this manner. So if you need to make a folder, click on New Folder, and you can make a folder like I have that says License Files. And this is where you will store your license files. I recommend that you name them according to the license file that it is. So this is my West Clermont site license that I use for all the meets that I run at West Clermont High School. Do not start that with a number just to be safe, but please put your license files in that folder. And then your databases. I recommend making a folder for this season for all of your databases. It is really important that you always start with an empty database. So if you scroll down in the Users Public eDive folder, you will find the empty database. Copy it, go to the folder you created, paste it there. And then I'm going to rename this using properties, and this is going to be Saturday, 11/29/2025, Bellbrook Diving Invitational. That's the meet that I'm demonstrating how to set up, and I click OK. It is really important that you never name your database starting with a number, because that can cause issues when you're running your meet. I don't know why. I just know that it is, and that's coming from the creator of CleanEntries, so please do not do that. Okay, so now we are good to go within the eDive folder. I have my database here and my license file ready to go. It is really imperative that you always start with an empty database. That way, if you have divers that dive for multiple teams, perhaps a high school team and a club team, or you use this computer to run multiple different types of meets, then you don't have issues with affiliations showing up incorrectly. So please always start with an empty database and store everything related to eDive within this folder. Now that we're good to go here, we need to double check to ensure that we are running the most up-to-date version of eDive. So if you go to the eDive website, click on the Downloads tab, you will see that version 8 is the most up-to-date version of eDive. If your eDive is not up-to-date and you have 5.4 or higher, you can run the patch. Otherwise, you'll need the full install. When you open eDive, it should tell you the version, so you can see version 8. We are good to go. Now, I need to make sure I have the right license file. In this case, I do. It says License to West Clermont High School. If I don't, I would go to File, Open, eDive License File, and then from there, I will go grab my license file. This is already open. I don't need to open it again, so I'm going to click Cancel in this case. Otherwise, I would click on it, click Open, and then it would be good to go. Now, I need to open my database. File, Open, eDive Database, and I'm going to grab the database that I created, starting with my empty database. Here we go. One thing you should always do is go to Online, Update My Rules, check Force an Update, and Continue. That will ensure that if any updates were pushed out, your database is up to date and ready to download the events. So please make sure you do this. It does not take long, and it will ensure that you don't have issues with your events not coming down properly into the database. So we will give that a minute to finish updating, and then the next thing that we will do is go to CleanEntries and download the entries. You can click off this while you want, while it's updating, but I'm just going to let it go and so you can see it. And then it says OK, click OK, and you're good to go. Now, we are going to go to CleanEntries. On the dashboard, you're going to click on Manage Meets if you were not already on that tab. So maybe you were on the Summary tab of your dashboard. You're going to click on Manage Meets. And then you will see the meet. This is Bellbrook Diving, Saturday, 11/29/2025 Invitational. And I'm going to click on Download All Entries. And then you will see that the entries populate up here. I have downloaded them. And so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to eDive, File, Import eDive data, and I'm going to select the data file from my downloads. There it is. And then you must uncheck only process events with scored diving sheets because these entries are coming in and the meet has not happened yet. And then you click import data. And we are good to go. Now, what you need to do is your events, you can double check. Now, the way that I've numbered them, when I create a combined event, that will ensure the JV girls dive first, then the JV boys, then the varsity girls, and then the varsity boys. This meet only has 6 dive events, both JV and varsity. If it had 11 dive events, then number 5 would be 1 meter girls varsity 11 dives. Number 6 would be 1 meter boys varsity 11 dives. So we would just extend what we're doing here. So we're good to go. Now, I'm going to create the combined event. So I'm going to click on Events, Combine Events, and this is the only meet in my database. And so I'm going to click Create a New Combined Event. I'm going to use 3 judges, and I'm going to call this Saturday, 11/29/2025, Bellbrook Diving Invitational. And I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to click on these events and add them to my combined event. I'm going to click Done. And then I'm going to go to Events. I need to set my diver order. And you always set the order for the combined event. You're going to drag the event name header up, and then you're going to randomize. I always randomize 5 times. You can do it once, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you click Resequence. And what I've done is I made it so that all the JV girls dive first, and then I made it, well, there were no JV boys, so that didn't happen. But I made it so that all the JV girls dive first, and then it would be all the JV boys, then all the varsity 6 dive girls, and then all the varsity 6 dive boys. And then I click Save, and I am good to go. Other things that I need to do is if I go to the reports browser, I check the combined event, and this is going to be the announcer script. This event is not split board, so I just leave it as include all divers. That is going to populate my announcer script if you want that. If you want the dive sheets to print off, you can select the NFHS format. You can print them in whatever order you want. And that will populate all of the dive sheets. If you want the diving order, then you will click on this. And if you want to display their grade, there's an option there. If you want to see the diving order with dive lists, then that will print this way. And so lots of options here that you can play with. Okay, now we are ready to go. Once I set up the meet, I set the order, and we're going to print everything. Then we're going to click on Run Event. I'm going to always run the combined event, and then I click Run the event with all divers because I'm not splitting the board. Run the event. You'll have to put in the name of the facility. And so that will be right here. It should be the Dayton Raiders Aquatic Center. And that is in Beaver Creek, Ohio. Hit OK. And then from there, if you want to turn on live results, you click that. If you want to connect with eJudge, you can do that here. You do have to purchase eJudge in advance. That's how you connect the phones. And then from there, we are ready to run. If you have any questions or you want me to explain how to set up a split board format, please feel free to reach out to me. I am happy to help in any way that I can. Thanks for your time and attention.